Hey everybody, it's this week's installment of Talking Trash with Ash. I'm just going to wait a minute for invitations to get sent out to everybody, but today I'll be chatting with Taylor Logsdon of the Peddlers Mall stores that are based in the Ohio Valley region. So I'm super very excited to talk to her and learn more about their awesome business model. If you're watching live and want to say hi or ask questions, feel free to comment, and I will do my best to track those while I'm asking questions and make sure that that she gets them. Let's see. As we're waiting, I will. So she's going to join in a second, and I'm on a little early too, so I just want to make sure, because I'm broadcasting, that it's working right. Okay, here we go. Here she is. And it's connecting. Apologize. It's my internet, I'm sure. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to meet you online in person, or,
Yeah.
face to face finally.
I know you too. This is Nico.
Hi, Nico.
He's my assistant today.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm glad. Well, I'm really excited that I love animals too. I love cats and dogs. That might be an icebreaker question, but you've already kind of answered that. Oh, I hope it's not losing connection. Hold on. Can you hear me? Okay.
It might be my Wi-Fi too. I've been having some issues.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. I'm in the basement, so.
Well, you have a cute setup. I set up behind or in front of some shelving that I styled all from Peddlers Mall, so I thought it was a good area.
That's beautiful. Is there anything in particular that you are extra?
Yeah. Those little spools right there, those vintage spools are really cool. And then it's hard to see, but in the very top corner, that's like an old wallpaper press.
Oh, wow.
The stamp like to decorate wallpaper. So I found both of those at my Middletown location.
Oh, well, it looks beautiful, and I like what you did with the shelves too, like the back,
Oh yeah, we painted them.
The contrast.
Yeah.
Well, if you're just joining, we're getting a lot of people who are starting to join. If you have any questions, I will do my best to catch them while we're talking. But before we get started, I had a couple of quick icebreaker questions. And for those just joining, you probably already know this, but this is Taylor Logsdon from Peddlers Mall stores. And are you in Louisville?
Yes, our main office is in Louisville, and I'm currently living at my parents' right now because I was in a car accident and have a broken ankle. But
oh, I'm so sorry.
Still able to work from home.
Right. Well, yeah, no, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, car accidents can be rough. Well, thank you for joining today, because I know you're a busy lady from everything I see online. And so before we get into Peddlers Mall, I have a couple quick little icebreaker questions. So I guess the first one would be, so if you have friends or family or business colleagues or contacts watching, what is something they possibly might not know about you?
Well, I also, before my accident, I am a part-time fitness instructor. So I'm also teach on the side at a place called Bar 3, which is another woman-owned business that's here in Louisville. We have 2 studio locations. Right now I'm not teaching because of my broken ankle. I'm just working at the front desk until I'm cleared by my doctor. But yeah, I would say that's something most people in the Peddlers Mall world don't know about me.
Okay, well, thank you. And then this is an either or both. What would you rather be near, mountains or the ocean?
That's hard.
Yeah.
Well, right now with my broken ankle, probably by the beach, because and traveling, we go to the River Gorge a lot because it's like, am I back? Normally I like
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay. And then, so yeah, because I actually, one summer I spent, at the beach when I broke my foot, and that was all I could
Yeah.
do was just hobble over there with the crutches. So, and then you're obviously an animal person. Do you like
Mhm.
dogs or cats better, or is it just equal? Or
I'm kind of allergic to cats, so more of a
okay,
dog person.
right, I hear you. Okay, well, we have cats, but I love dogs. I love all animals pretty
Yeah.
much. So, big fan. Anyway, all
Yeah.
right, let's get into what you do. And
Yeah.
before I ask some specific questions, can you tell our viewers who might not know what Peddlers Mall, um, with the stores, the chain, like everything that you guys do, like a
Yeah,
little.
so we're the largest chain of flea markets in the Ohio Valley. We have 17 locations, and I have an announcement. It's not official yet, but we are planning on opening a new store early next year in Huntington, West Virginia. So it'll be our first store
Oh,
in West Virginia and our newest store since we opened one in Bardstown, Kentucky. So we're really excited. I haven't done first news drop of that store. My grandfather started the business in 1997, and it was actually my first job as a cashier when I was 16, and I never got away.
yeah.
It pulled me in. So I love my job. I'm the marketing director, but I wear many hats. I help with hiring. I help with social media. I help with our website design. I help with opening the stores. I mean, really just wherever I'm needed, I go to. So we're a mix between a flea market and an antique store. So I like to say that we're a flea-teak mall because we have new items, we have old items. I like to say you never know what you'll find in our stores, literally. I mean, I've seen some crazy off the wall items, but then I've also seen brand new televisions in our stores. So,
So, can you talk a little bit about how your grandfather started the business? And it's just
yeah,
kind of amazing how many locations you have. And I've been to the
yeah.
one in Lexington, so
Okay, good.
yeah.
I was going to ask you, that was going to be my Q&A for you if you'd ever been to a store, but
Mhm.
let's see. He actually started it kind of by accident. He was always an entrepreneur. He had his hand in multiple businesses, but he kind of caught his break with the flea market idea. He wanted a business where there wasn't a ton of overhead and he could be the owner and the operator and kind of work for himself. And he thought of the idea of bringing in other vendors to the store to sell their goods, kind of like the first ever Chelsea market in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah,
And it just really like sped off. The idea trickled, and I think at one point he had 34 stores at one time.
wow.
Um, but since I've been involved, there's been about 17. It's a little more easier to
That's
rally.
still quite a few stores. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, so you have a big business reach because you're in so many states and
Mhm.
locations, and that's huge. I mean,
Yeah, this will be our fourth state. So we're Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky. And I would say people always ask me what our biggest store is, and that would be our Lexington store. So you've
oh,
crossed that
really?
one off the list. Yeah.
Okay. My husband, he actually had a clerkship in
Mhm.
Lexington, so he was made an official Kentucky colonel by
Yeah.
the judge that he worked for.
Yeah,
So
that's
we
cool.
actually we went back. The reason I say that is that I used to visit him a lot in Lexington, and I really
Mhm.
loved going up there to see him. And then we went back for a reunion a few years ago with my kids, and while they were asleep in the car, I was like, I really, really want to go into, can I go into Peddlers Mall?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, like he knows now. It's like,
Yeah.
he's like, how long are you going to be? And
Yeah.
I said, I don't know. And I ended up finding lots of, like, I actually got one of those vintage Samsonite cases, and then I filled
Yeah.
it
Is
with
that what
like,
you posted on Instagram the other day? Okay. Yeah. That's cool.
and I filled it with vintage jewelry and other
Yeah.
things that I purchased. Like, you know, I was very excited.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was starting to want to contact people who sell, you know, vintage and secondhand and all that, I was like, oh, I need to see if possibly you guys would be interested, because I
Yeah.
loved visiting the store in Lexington. So, um, so how about, well, first of all, you do so much on social media. It's really impressive. I really like the collaboration that I'm seeing too with
Yeah.
other people in Louisville and probably elsewhere. Can you talk a little bit about what someone could find when they go to your social media pages?
Yeah. So I've kind of tried to focus my attention on partnering with a lot of women-based businesses here in Louisville. I feel like we all help each other out by connecting and collaborating. And I started partnering with one of my friends who's a stylist. I think now she goes by Sunnyside Vintage, but we partnered together and we've done some photo shoots with my friend who's also a photographer. So we just kind of try to help each other out by all partnering together and highlighting our businesses. So I try to find pieces from our store, whether that's clothing or props or furniture, and then that way we can use that material in the photo shoots and basically show our audience that you will find an eclectic mix of all kinds of items, and that it's an ever-changing product being added, because we have so many different vendors and they don't have any cap on what they can bring into the store. But my most recent partnership I've done with Jasper Lane, and we actually met through social media. She was doing a series on teaching people how to thrift. And so I reached out to her and was like, wow, this is a great idea. Would you ever want to do this with Peddlers Mall? And so we just kind of went from there, and we have an event this Friday, plug, at Middletown Peddlers Mall. We still
Plug
have
away,
tickets.
please.
Yeah. I'll link the Eventbrite site after this on this post, and I'll send it to you too, so you can do the same. But we still have some spots available, and basically myself and Lexi from Jasper Lane are going to take a private tour around Peddlers Mall with people who buy tickets, and if they've got a vision of a bookshelf or a mantle or a bar cart that they've been wanting to transform on a budget, you can bring your ideas and we will help you pick out and style your area of your home.
That's such an awesome idea, and I wish that I lived closer. I have some good friends who are from Louisville originally, and
well,
every so often, and my husband's from Cincinnati, and so we go back, like, visit various friends and family. So when I'm in town, like to see if that was going on.
Yes, when you're in town, let me know, and I will be happy to give you the VIP tour of one of my stores. But that's the most problem that I hear from my clients and from friends and family is like, I love vintage, I love secondhand, I just don't have the time to go into a store and look through everything, and I don't know what prices are a good price point. And so basically that's what we're going to do, is teach people how to look from a distance and see how to style things without spending an entire day.
That's brilliant. That's such an awesome idea. And so correct me if I have the wrong. So is it going to be a private party, or are you going to do anything online as well?
This will be a private event because we're also taking all the customers who buy tickets to a local shop here in Middletown that's called the Greenhouse, and we're going to have like charcuterie and wine and another photographer there that can take pictures of the gathering and just kind of a girls' night out type deal. I mean, or guys, anybody's welcome.
Right,
Anybody, everybody.
Oh, that's so cool. And I watched several parts of clips where you were going around the store with Jasper Lane and talking about. I'm going to put more. I wish I had done it beforehand, but I'll do it after. Put it like links to some of those videos because.
Yeah, she has a YouTube channel. So we've made a series called Thrift and Tell. Actually, no, sorry. It's called Make It Mine. Thrift and And I've done a series called Make It Mine, where we basically take photos of vignettes from West Elm and from our house and all of these expensive, high-priced stores that everything's new.
Right.
And we basically do like a thrifted dupe of the photo.
That's just so
we always
cool.
try to make it under like $200 or $100, and
I saw
really
the
fun.
one there you had set. I think like it was everything. You were gonna style a bookcase for under $20, like something like you set the price, and I was like, oh wow, okay. And it was really neat to watch. And I have a couple of little, I have a community of thrifters and upcyclers that I'm gonna share that with, and then I'm also gonna post it on the Facebook. Trash to Treasure Facebook page that's kind of like a mirror site to this Instagram.
Cool. But we're going to continue to do it. It seems to be a pretty popular segment that we've started, and I think people really enjoy it. We love doing it too, so it's fun.
You can tell. It's just that's so wonderful. And so how do you find all these vendors? Like has it been like relationships that your family has built, or how do you find all of these folks who?
I would say one of our biggest advocates. Am I buffering? I just see a circle going around and around.
Yeah, a little bit. It's okay.
Okay. So
it's okay.
I would say that when we open a store, our vendors that start at that store, I would say like 70% of them have been with us from the beginning of when we open a store. So they like to set up shop, and they're more of a permanent fixture. And then, the other 30% come in and out, and it's word of mouth. It's other vendors telling other people, possible vendors, that they'll do well selling there. But I feel like Louisville has a really great community of thrifting and secondhand vendors. A lot of them do it on their own as a separate business, and then some of them need our help, and we're happy to give them a place to sell with little overhead. And I always say if our vendors are happy, then we're happy.
Yeah, it's such a neat business model, and I think you had mentioned too that and I was looking at your website and seeing, all the sort of snippets of things that are in different stores. You were talking about how you're transitioning certain things on your website, and so is there anything you want people to know or to be look out for in the future on your, not social media necessarily, but on the website?
Coming soon. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm having a new website being launched. We're currently in the process of updating it, and we're going to have a page on there where there's going to be, you can buy Peddlers Mall merch. We're going to have that. And we will also have portals for our vendors to log in and check their sales in real time, and just making the necessary updates to stay with 2021 and the technology of small businesses. We still
Right.
want to keep our vision at heart of being family owned and small and vintage, and if it's not broke, or if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right,
But we're
right.
trying to make those upgrades for our clients and vendors.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful because I love that you have talked about, how you can make purchasing vintage and secondhand more easy, like a little bit more user friendly for
Mhm.
people. Because I have the same, when I talk to people about buying secondhand, that's, they're happy if I find it for them and
Yeah.
show them, then they're like done. But,
Right.
figuring out that gap of,
Yeah.
showing them what they can get and how you can possibly make it easier for them. And I just think that's really great, like those ideas that you guys have. And it's it's a very inspirational model for folks, because it's really important for more people to buy secondhand. I mean,
Yeah.
just for,
As you know,
yeah,
you're passionate about it too. I mean, to stay green and continue the least amount of footprint on this world, then we have got to buy secondhand. I mean, it's better. It's better quality normally when you buy furniture that's older. It's not cheaply made and it has a story. That's one thing that I really love about buying vintage. It just feels like a treasure. Like you found something that no one else has and it's unique, and it's like the thrill of the hunt. We love to find a diamond in the rough, and I don't know. It's an experience.
yes, yes, that's for sure. That's for sure. Well, so how can folks who are watching, so as I'm, because I will, if it's all right with you, and I can
Mhm.
talk to you about it afterwards too, but I plan to, hopefully upload this to YouTube and
Yeah.
to Facebook, because the goal is to try to connect as many people to learn more about what there is as far as secondhand options, like where to
Yeah.
shop. And I mentioned I personally have a lot of family in the Ohio, about like my in-laws are all there.
Mhm.
So and so this is good for them too, to know
Yeah.
that they can go. What would you like for folks to, or how best to get in touch with you
Yeah.
if
So
somebody's
I would
wanting to know more?
way to reach out to us is to go to our website. We have a locations tab where all the addresses and Facebook pages for the individual stores are linked on there. And there's also a contact form, which I manage. So if you ever have a question, I try to get back at least within a day or two. But we'll be announcing the new store soon, and all of that information will be on the website. And another thing that I like to point out is that all of the items you can make offers on. So if something is over $50, you can make an offer on the spot. And
Wow.
if it's an item under 50, we can leave a note for the vendor. So I think that's something unique that we have that a lot of other stores don't have, is no price is firm.
Wow. That's, yeah, no, that's amazing.
And we're open 7 days a week. We're open
Yeah,
every
that too. Like I was like, well, I know that when I come to visit the area, I can always go
Yeah.
thrifting, and shopping, antiquing, etc. And I will keep in touch with monitoring, like when you open the West Virginia, because that's closer to where I am anyway.
Okay,
I'm a
great. Yeah.
suburb of
Well, come
DC,
on.
so
I need some help opening up the store, so I might recruit you.
well, I have a little community of people in the DC area that
Yeah.
we've been building and connecting, but I also have personal contacts all over the U.S. and also
Yeah.
globally too, but that may be watching this at some point. But my point is, with my local community, we can take a special thrifting trip out to West Virginia sometime
Yeah.
soon when the store is open, or we we'll be in touch offline about it, or
Yeah.
off live
Well, we
about
would love
it.
to have you and see you. Hopefully, we'll be filling the store up fast.
Yeah, no, I thank you so much for your time. And I just, the more because there's so much to learn about your
Yeah.
stores, the more that I see, I'm just like very impressed with what you guys are doing. And you're a very inspirational model for other
Well,
folks
thank
too.
you. And I'm so
Um,
glad that we connected, and we've got to keep this up. Women to women,
yes,
small businesses, and
yes,
connecting and speaking about buying secondhand first.
right, right. There's so many important things. Yeah. No, I really appreciate it. And you're also sharing the story of like all of your local friend, business and contacts, women owned businesses connecting. That that resonates with me a lot as well here. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for your
Yeah.
time. Is there anything else you would like to tell us before?
I think we covered most things. Tried to
Okay.
plug as much as I could.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did great. And thank you so much for your time. And I can't wait to share this everywhere
Yeah.
when we're done.
All right. Thanks for having
All
me.
right. Thank you so
Anytime.
much. Hope your foot feels better
Oh,
soon.
thank you.
All right.
Hopefully, I'll be
Bye-bye.
back thrifting soon.
All right. Yes. Yes.
Bye.
Important. Bye-bye.